Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Welcome to Chaitanya Studio at Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Myself, Dr. Vinodal Desai, working at Department of Computer Science, Sardar Patel University, Vallabh Vidyanagar. In the previous sessions, we talked regarding introductions to JavaScript, the evolution of JavaScript, how do we write a JavaScript, either internally or externally, how do we declare variables and manipulate them, and how it is going to be, we can say, implicitly and explicitly converted to different or the various data types. Now in these sessions, we will talk about array, operators and expressions supported by JavaScript, condition checking, loops, constructors, and various, we can say, statements, or you can say control statements. Now what is an array? So array is also like a data type that is used to store one or more than one value of a similar type or different types together. We can use an array to store values of string type or integer type or an object or any other valid data type in JavaScript or everything together. An array in JavaScript is not provided contiguous memory allocations to store its values. In JavaScript, we do not have to provide the length of the array while declaring the array. Yes, we can simply declare an empty array and then add as many values as we want. Arrays are like list-like objects which have many built-in functions defined in its prototype for accessing elements, adding elements, array traversals, etc. Arrays also have a property like length. We can create JavaScript array either by using a new keyword or using the array literals notations. We can say square bracket or box bracket symbol. If an array is created with a predefined length but not values, then the empty array elements are assigned the value undefined. How do we declare? Let's see, using the literal notations. So simply we can have a variable name using the var keyword and we will have a square brackets, empty square brackets we can say. And then after we can also have another way by specifying the values in a brackets like the sports, cricket, hockey, chess, football, etc. So this syntax indicates the array declaration using the literal notations. Another is a new keyword. Okay, using the new keyword. So we create an empty array whenever we don't know the exact number of elements to be inserted in an array. An empty array can be created using a new keyword as well. So we will simply declare a variable name using the var keyword and then after equal to new keyword and array object, or we can say a keyword with a capital array, capital A. Then also we can have a size specifications, okay, in a bracket, that if you want to create an array of 5 elements, 10 elements, then we can specify that specific size. Even we can specifically provide the values, okay, so that time it will create the array of specified values, okay, whether we have provided or specified 3 values, 4 values, then the array will be created accordingly of that size. Okay, but there are various methods supported by an array. Among that, the push method is there, which adds an element at the end of an array and returns the length of new array. Okay, unshift method is there. Okay, let's practically see that we can have an idea and how the different method works together one by one. So here we have, we can say, one program in which we have created the array of car. Okay, so the array values are Baleno, Safari, Brezza and Nexon. Okay, we can say traversing through the loops to display the various values of the car using this. But now let's see the various methods as we first discussing the push method. Okay, push method is there. What it does, so it adds an element at the end of an array, okay, and returns the length of the new array. Okay, so when we are using a push, we are here pushing a Krita. We are using the array name. Okay, so array object is car and we are using the push method. So Kritas is going to be added at the end of the array, and then after its new length is going to be returned. Okay, so let's test it so that we can have an idea. We will run the program. Okay. See here. Okay, Baleno is going to be added. Baleno, sorry, this is the last things that we want. This was the actual original array, and then after Krita is added at the end of the array. Okay, so this is the output of our first push method. Okay, then after the next method is unshift. So adds an element at the beginning. So this is opposite. Okay, if you want to add element at the end, use push method. At the beginning you should use unshift. Same way, pop removes the last element from an array and returns the element, and shift removes the first element of an array and returns that element. Okay, so let's look at those methods. So and then after we have used unshift. Okay, so unshift does what? It removes the element from the, we can say unshift, it adds the element at the beginning. Okay, alto is going to be added at the beginning, and then after it is, we can say, displayed. So let's have a look at the output. So you can see in the next line alto is added, okay, using the unshift method. Then after we have used, we can say, methods pop. So pop does what? It removes the element from the last. Okay, so last element was, we can say, Krita. Okay, actually the Krita is removed first, and then after we used shift method, so it removes the element from the first index, that is alto. Okay, so it removes alto. So this is the mechanism of 4 methods: push, unshift, shift and pop. Then after concat method is there, which joins 2 or more arrays and returns the joined array. Okay, so let's have a look towards the concat, whether it is there or, okay, we want to declare another array, and then after we can use this concat method. Okay, if we want to use Control C, create another array. Okay, we will have we can say Audi. We are going to add another single Audi and Ferrari premium cars in our new array, and that is the array name is car 1. Okay, so we have 2 array, car and car 1. Okay, now we want to merge them, we want to concate them. Okay, so how do we? So let's write here simply, I will merge, Control C, Control V. What we will write? We will write the method with our object. That means we want to add car dot concate with what? So another object car 1, or another array object car 1. Okay, so then after the embedded is going to be displayed after the, we can say, shift method removal. Okay, let's see Audi and Ferrari is added or not. We will refresh the output. See here the output. Okay, Ferrari and Audi is displayed. Okay, so both the arrays objects are concatenated. So concat method works in such a way to combine 2 or more arrays. Then after the reverse method is there, which reverses the order of the list of the elements in an array. Sort method sorts the element of an array, that we already used. Okay, see here, after sorting, we can say alphabetical orders. Okay, Nexon and Safari. Then reversed order is there. Okay, Safari, Nexon, Brezza and Baleno. Original array, sliced part. Okay, so we can slice. See here what it does. Slice. selects a part of an array and returns that part as a new array. Okay. So how do we write slice method? Let us see. Okay. Sliced part. Okay. So from where? We just need a from 1. We want to fetch it. Okay. So let us see the output. Okay. Slides. So it's all about, we can say, Annexon, Brija and Baleno. Okay, the 3 parts were returned in the new array. The same way there are 2 other methods, spliced. Okay, so what the splice method does? The splice method adds or remove elements of an array. Okay, if we are using like this array object dot splice method, index is required the index positions to add or remove items. Okay, so the position, if you specified from where the add or removal will takes place, a negative value counts from the end of the array. Then how many elements you want to add, then the elements to be added, and okay, like this. Optional, number of items to be removed or adding, items optionals, new items to be added. Okay, so these are optionals generally. Fill method is also there, fills the elements into an array with static values. Array.fill value start and end. Okay, value to be added, start is optional, that means starting index, default is 0, and ending is optional, end index, default is array.length, which is always excluded. So these are various, we can say, methods supported by array, and we can use it, okay, as we discussed like this, okay, with our array objects, and you can work with that. Okay, fill method is already we have used over here. You can see car.fill Mercedes Benz. So that will be added and the message will be displayed in the output. Okay, see here the merged array, the Mercedes Benz by default it will be filled with a 0 index. So join, we can join the array with a message. So this is what a array is and how do we manipulate the values of an array object using different methods of it. Moving next is operators. There are various operators available in JavaScript. Okay, is a symbol. Operator is simply a symbol that is reserved for special tasks or operations. Operators are used to performing operations on the operands. Okay, so operands may be variables, and upon that we will perform various operations using the operator. The operands can be variables or numerical literals or string literals as well. Operators are useful to modify or change data by manipulating the respective variables. The various operators supported by JavaScript are arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators, bitwise operators, and string operators. Let's have a look. The arithmetic operators supported are the plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, plus plus or increment we can say, and decrement operators by double minus sign. Okay, plus plus, simply the plus operator used for the numerical as well as with a string. Okay, when we are using with the string values, then it will concate both the strings. Okay, while with numbers it will add both the numerical values. Okay, while subtraction also subtracts the value, multiplication likewise. Okay, let's have examples of operators. Look at the operator examples to understand in a more better ways. So in a, we can say script tag, we have written arithmetic operators like this, and numerical operators 15 plus 5, it is going to be displayed. Then minus operators, multiplication, division. Okay, then we can say a relational operators we have used, that both are equal or not, not equal to, then less than, greater than. Okay, and we can say greater than, and using the AND operators, logical AND we can say, like and OR operators. Okay, this is fine, but what if, okay, let's have run the programs to understand the execution of arithmetic operators, other operators. Okay, we have used all the operators in a single programs. So here we have arithmetic operators, then after relational operators we have used equal to, not equal to, we have seen as logical operators as well. Okay, but suppose, what if I will write something like this? Let's have another variable, Okay, Control C. I am just going to paste it, and instead of 5, if I will write Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University, 15 plus BAOU. So what would be the value of here? The variable name conflict would be there, that X is already declared. So we will use here V. Okay, and I am going to display another new sum. Okay, and let's print the V. So what would be the value of V? Let's test whether it would be string or numeric. Let's refresh the page. As we can see, okay, let me to line break so that it displays better way. Another mechanism we can say better functionality of a JavaScript is that we can embed our HTML code, okay, along with a Java code or JavaScript code like that. Here we are adding a page break using the BR tag. So the new output will be on the next line. Let's refresh the output. See, the new sum is what all about 15 BAOU. Okay, so what happened? It implicitly converts, okay, it implicitly converts the 15 to a string, as the string value is specified as a second value. But what if suppose if I will write 5, okay, now instead of BAU, if I am supplying 5 a number, then what would be the output? Again the output would be a string 1. Say here 155, not 20, because this 5 is a string literal. Okay, even though it's a number, but it is accompanied with a double inverted comma, that means it is considered as a string. So the concatenation will takes place with other numbers. So ultimate output would be the string 1. So by manipulating various operators and values, especially with a plus, you need to be very careful that what kind of value you are supplying with operators. So it's all about this arithmetic one. Now let's look to another relational operators we already specified, like equal to, not equal to, okay, strict equality operator by specifying 3 times equal sign. Then we can say not equal to with a 2 equal to sign, then greater than equal to, less than and less than equal to signs are used to compare the variables and values. Then logical operators are specified to the ampersand, pipe sign and not equal to. And assignment operators are used like or supported by the JavaScript is equal to, plus equal to, less than equal to, sorry, minus equal to, multiplication equal to, division equal to, and modulus equal to. Okay, it is same as A is equal to A plus B, like that. Okay, bitwise operators supported by JavaScript are ampersand, that is bitwise AND, pipe sign, that is bitwise OR, caret sign, bitwise XOR, tilde sign, that is bitwise NOT, double less than, left shift, double greater than, sign propagating right shift, and triple times greater than, zero fill right shift. So these are the bitwise operators supported by JavaScripts. String operators are also there. In JavaScript, you can also use the plus operator, as I just mentioned in the example, to concatenate 2 or more strings. Okay, so here also the same concept is given, same examples we are just specifying. Okay, if you are writing like this, welcome to BAOU, that means the whole string is going to be concatenated using a plus operator. Okay, so plus also works as a concatenation operator. If another variable is there having the string literals, and if you are using str plus equal to university, the new string would be welcome to BAOU or BAOU university. When plus is used with string, it performs concatenation. However, when plus is used with numbers, it performs addition. So you need to be very careful while dealing with these operators. Certain special operators are supported in JavaScript. They are comma. So it evaluates multiple operands and returns the value of the last operands. Like examples, variable a is equal to 358. Okay, ternary operators, it is known as question mark and colon, returns value based on the condition. So if 8 greater than 5, then it's success, otherwise fail. That means, or we can say 8 greater than 5, then true, else false. Likewise, it's a ternary operator. Then delete operators. Deletes an object's property or an element of an array. So if you want to delete the object X, then you just write delete X. Type of we have already seen. Okay, to do, specify or to determine what kind of data type a variable is having. Okay, returns a string indicating the data type. Type of operators. Void discards the expression's return value. In returns type if the specified property is in the object. Instance of returns true if the specified object is of the specified object type. So these are various special operators supported by JavaScript and that we can use in our program. Now next is conditions or conditional statements. So it is same as, or we can say it matches with the same syntax as a syntax of C language or even a Java language. So various conditional statements are available among that. So if you want to decide that if a particular condition matches, then what kind of statements to be executed, if the certain kind of condition is not matching, that what kind of statements to be executed. So for that, the first is a if condition. So generally the syntax of if condition is, we have to write a if and in a bracket we have to provide the condition and then curly brackets and the block to be executed if the condition turns true, or else block if the condition turns false, then that will be executed. So else block will execute if the condition turns false, otherwise the if block will execute if the condition turns true. Okay, so this is all about if loop. Then for loop is there. Let's have a look to these conditional loops examples. Okay, if else loop, if we have to see, let's need to open all the applications so it would be easy for us to discuss it. See here we have just written the variables a is equal to 8. Okay, then we are using the condition if a is less than the value, then document.write number is less than this, else if, again this is called a nested if, nested conditions. Again we are checking it, then the number is equals to 8 and else number is greater than 8 simply. When we will execute this program, it will simply execute the block which is what matches the conditions, that means which turns true, the condition turns true. So number is equal to 8, as the variable contains a value 8, so it executes the block this one. Okay, second block, else if a is equal to 8. Okay, next is we can say a looping for loop, we can say. So for loop is a loop used to execute a particular code block multiple times until a given condition holds true or until all the elements of a given JavaScript object like array or list are completely traversed. So the syntax of writing a for loop requires 3 parameters. One would be the initialization, second one would be the condition, and third one would be the increment or decrement parameters. Okay, let's have a look at through the examples. For loop. So this is a for loop. Suppose if we have variable and we want to traverse it to a 10 values, then we can just write a for a is equal to 0, a less than 10, a plus plus. So though up to from 0 to 9 the value is going to be displayed. Okay, let's execute the for loop. So see, you can see here that from 0 to 9 the for loop traverses and displays the each value after the increment or after each iteration. Moving next is a while loop and do while loop. So the difference between while loop and for loop is that in a for loop we are providing 3 parameters while writing the syntax of a for loop. while in a while loop we will first write the condition only, and if the condition turns true, then after we will write the increment or decrement operators within that. Okay, so the simple syntax of writing a while loop is while keyword will be there, then after the condition statements in a bracket and the curly braces and the block of code to be executed if the condition turns true. Let's have a look practically. Okay, so this is a while loop. Let's see, a is having a 9 value, and if while a is less than or equal to 10, then this code is the block of code to be executed. That means while executed, okay, and a plus plus, we are incrementing it or decrementing as I told you. Okay, so the initialization takes place before the while loop, condition is provided while writing this while loop, and increment decrement is provided within the while loop. So this is the difference of for loop and while loop. Let's execute it and check whether the while is executed or not. See, while executed. So this 2 times is what it's all about, another code. Okay, now another thing is there. See, the next is a do while. So do while is what initially the block of code will execute, and then after the condition is going to checked in a do while. Okay, so here the do while does what, if the condition evaluated true, the body of the loop inside the do statement is executed again. So the difference between while and do while is that in a while loop it will only execute if the condition turns true, but in a do while the code will executed first time and then after the condition will be checked, and if the condition turns true it will execute again, otherwise it will terminate from the while we can say statements, and it will jump to the next after the while. So this process continues until the condition evaluates to false, then the loop stops. Let's see practically. See, here we have written a do while that sum plus is equal to number, if number minus minus. So while number greater than or equal to 0 till then, okay, that means that once the number is not greater than 0, then the condition turns false and it will terminate. Otherwise, till the condition remains true, that means number remains greater than 0, it will continue to execute and the number is going to be decremented. Okay, and at last the sum is going to be displayed. So the second output is all about that do while. Okay, the sum is 55. Moving next is break and continue statements. So break and continue statements are known as loop control statements, as they are used to control the loops. The break statement is used to terminate the loop immediately while it is encountered. Okay, from where you want to terminate, just write break statements, it will terminate the loop. We can come out of the loop's execution whenever required by using the break statement. We can also skip the current iteration and start the next iteration by using the continue statements. Okay, the break statements can also be used inside other loops like for and while, do while loops. Okay, let's have a look in a break and we can say break statements. So suppose here we have a count is a variable having a 0 value, and while counter less than 10, that means initially it is true as 0 value is there, so it will come inside that and plus plus is applied on that, and if count modulo 5 equal to 0, then we want to break and the value to be displayed. Okay, else. So till then it is going to continue, but once the count reaches the value which is divided by 5, okay, then it will terminate from that stage and the rest of the value is not going to be displayed. Okay, let's test it and how the break works. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and up to when the 5 comes, then 5 divided by 5. Okay, so the loop will terminate. Okay, and the rest of the steps is not going to be executed. okay, within the loop. Okay, so it's all about, we can say, while loop. Moving next is a, we can say, break statement, sorry, continue statements. So here the same thing is there, but the difference is when the count modulo 2 is equal to 0, then we want to continue. Okay, okay, jump to next iteration. So that iteration is going to be skipped only, and it will continue with the next iterations. So this is the difference between break and continue. Let's run it. See here, 1, 2 is going to be skipped as it is turning true. Then after 3, okay, 5, 7, 9. 4 is also skipped, 6 is also skipped, and 8 is also skipped, because those values are modular divided by 2, and the condition turns true. So it will continue with the next iteration, and the values will be displayed accordingly. Moving next is switching statements. So when we have multiple values and among that we want to select a particular one, then we should use a switch case statements. So JavaScript switch case is used to execute a block of statements out of multiple blocks of statement based on a condition. In a switching statement, switch expression is evaluated only once, and then the output is compared with every case mentioned inside the switch block. And if the output of expression matches one of the case, then the statement written inside the block of the case is executed. If no case matches, then the default case is executed. Let's look at the switch case using the example. So this is the switch case. Here the variable a is having a 1 value, then we are providing that switch in a case 1. If it is matches, alert case 1 has been executed, then case 2, case 3, case 4, and up to default. If nothing is matches, here 1 is there, so definitely case 1 is going to, we can say, execute. Let's test it. Case 1 has been executed. Okay, it will change the value. Okay, like for case we have already provided, but I will provide or modify the value, let's say 5. Then there is no case matches, so what it does, let's see, refresh it. Default case is going to execute as none of the cases matches with the provided value. Okay, so this is all about switching case. Switch case is written as the syntax we already discussed, the various cases in a switch case, and at last the default one. So constructor is another concept which is used in a JavaScript. So its constructor function is written like a function, and then after the name of the function. And when we are creating the objects, we will write const, then the name of the object using the new, and then after the function name. So it will invoke the function, constructor functions. Okay, to create an object from a constructor function, we use the new keyword. When this keyword is used in a constructor function, it refers to the objects that has been created. Thank you very much, friends. In these sessions, we have discussed various operators supported by JavaScript like arithmetic, relational, logical. Along with that, we have discussed various conditional and looping statements, control statements, and constructors. Thank you very much.
स्वाध्यायः परमं